Hello, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Leslie Ferris from Ferris Communications. I started my business in the early 90s, and over these many years, I have worked with countless, well, probably hundreds, literally, of professionals to hone their communication skills, and that includes training trainers, or in this case, training subject matter experts. You are my perfect audience today. You are a subject matter expert who has excelled in your field and for some reason find yourself in the position to develop and deliver a meaningful training to send your knowledge and experience and wisdom downstream to your colleagues. It may feel overwhelming. After all, this is not what you do, this is not what you signed up for, and it feels very foreign, which is always uncomfortable. But again, I'm here to help. Now, the first thing that most SMEs say is that they are really overwhelmed in several areas, one of which is, where do I start? And I don't know about you, but every project I have in front of me, it's always, where do I start? It's sometimes difficult, but that's what I'm here for. I know exactly where you can start, where you should start, and that's with learning assessment. So that means going to all of the stakeholders, the learners, people in the community, if it's applicable, to learn from them what is critical for these trainees, these learners to know. Not nice to know, but versus needs to know. And that all of that gathering of information is your starting point. And then the next thing people are usually concerned about is making the content, making the actual training exciting, engaging, useful, and really involves the learner. It's not an easy task. We all have experienced that trainer that comes in the room with the 99 slide deck and shows it all afternoon and reads either from or at the slides. Of course, we want to avoid that. There are many methodologies and processes to make your training not an event that people go to, but more of an experience. We know and have known for many years that the best learning takes place when we experience something. So your training will be highly experiential, it will be interactive, and you will be focusing not on what you're going to do in the training room, but what the trainees are going to do. That is the key. It takes the onus off you, and it really focuses on where it should be, on the learner. Now, another thing that SMEs often are concerned about is time. How are you supposed to put this project together, deliver it, and then work it into your everyday work, your obligations to the community, to those committees and organizations you are involved in, and not the least, your family and friends? It's not easy. But I will tell you that the schedule I've worked out for my workshops is conducive. We will meet 4 days a week, 2 hours each day, or an hour and a half. There will be individual guidance in that we will set appointments, you and I, for one-on-one time, and you will send questions and concerns to me ahead of time so that I can prepare for you and pull worksheets, pull information, send it to you as attachments ahead of time, and really have that focused, positive, or constructive time together. I also have office hours. They're a little bit different in that it's virtual, and you will know that when you send an email by noon, at 1 o'clock, I start answering emails and sending information if it's applicable. So I'm there to support you the whole time. Also, I find that for everyone, once you dedicate time and everybody in your organization knows that time is your training time, you put a sign on the door and they know not to knock. That at the end of those 4 weeks, you will have 90% of your course ready to go, if not more. So it's highly focused, really deep work to get this on the right track. There are 4 parts to my training. The first part is taking those learning or needs assessment and making them into learning objectives. Now, that sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? But in fact, it's a science. There is a taxonomy to learning objectives, and I will teach you that. And from there, you'll go on to developing your content. Now, how do you make a workbook so that it's a guide in the end that the learners can use and refer back to, and it doesn't just go on the shelf with the rest of the training binders, right? Well, we will address that as well. All the while, your training will be experiential. And the 4th part is the evaluation. Now, this is not just the evaluation at the end of the course so that you can adjust and rewrite or do whatever you find necessary, but it's evaluation every day so that your training from day to day is flexible and addressing the needs of the learner. And also keep in mind all through this time that I will be there to guide you with one-on-one phone calls and the emails, so that at the end, your colleagues will have tools to take and run with. They will be able to retrieve that information and confidently apply it. And just between you and me, here's the secret, here's the real payoff, is for you. I get such a kick out of the end of a training and seeing people excited and motivated. It really is why I do what I do. And I would be so surprised if you don't have the same experience. So there's more to come. This is just the first step. Thank you.